This is an initial permits hearing and an objection to the kinship home study filed by Mr. Noack. Ms. Wildman's with us for the department. Ms. Lemus and her volunteer are with us for CASA. Ms. Wiggins is with us representing the child. Mr. Reed, the alleged father, is with us. And Ms. Graham, the mother, is with us, represented by Mr. Noack, who is with us. Okay, Ms. Wildman.
And just for clarity, Judge, I believe the objection that I filed was to the last placement. And the child has since been moved, so that would be moot at this point, Judge.
Okay, thank you. I'll get rid of that.
I am employed through St. Francis Ministries as a permanency specialist.
And are you the permanency specialist assigned to the case involving Rachel and her family?
Yes.
And how long have you been the permanency specialist on this case?
I believe since I think August, late July or August.
Okay. And since taking over, have you had the opportunity over the last few months to talk with the child and both of the parents?
Yes, I have.
All right. And so let's talk first about let's get an update on Rachel. There's been a recent placement change with Rachel, correct?
That's correct.
And previously she was in a kinship home, and now she is in a different placement. Where is she at currently?
She is at the Amarillo Children's Home currently.
And I mean, just kind of briefly, what led to that placement change?
The previous placement, Amanda Williams, was having some difficulty in her family adjusting to Rachel being there. But also, as Rachel has been uncovering some of her trauma, she was having some strong emotions, and Amanda was just really unable to appropriately handle those emotions.
Now, since and you said she moved to the Amarillo Children's Home, correct?
Yes.
Since moving there, have they been able to handle those therapeutic needs?
Yes, she's doing really well in that placement.
And now, as far as school goes, what happened when she initially moved placements?
So when she initially moved, all of Amarillo Children's Home children go to Tascosa High School. And so she was initially moved to Tascosa High School. But Tascosa, as y'all know, is a really large school, and it was just really overwhelming for Rachel. She did not feel comfortable there. So her house parent and with the help of her CASA was able to work it out to where she could go back to Canyon High School. So she is now back at Canyon High School.
Okay, and since she's gone back, have things been going better?
Yes. Yeah, she's doing extremely well.
Now, as far as I guess services for Rachel, is she still in therapy?
She is.
It had said she was looking at maybe moving therapist. Do you know who she's currently seeing?
Yes. She moved from Bobby Brito to Laura Bounds. And Laura sees all of the Amarillo Children's Home children. Okay. And because of Bobby's work commitments, we went ahead and made that move.
How has she been doing since switching therapists?
She's been doing really well. I've only received one note so far since it's a recent move. But okay. I think she's transitioning well.
All right. And so as far as medications, is she on any kind of psychotropic medications?
No, she's not.
All right. And is the current placement meeting all of the requirements as far as medical and dental?
Yes.
Let's see. Are there any other updates we need as far as Rachel's concerned?
No, I mean she's just doing really well. We're real pleased with her new placement.
Now, and as far as the therapy has been going, has she been working through the outcries and issues that had led to the removal?
Yes, she continues to disclose bits and pieces of information. She's pretty consistent in what she is saying about just some of the behaviors from Dawn. And so she is working through that in therapy.
And to clarify, Dawn is Dawn Goodlet, and that was Miss Graham's paramour.
Yes.
Thank you. Has St. Francis received all of the identifying documents that were court ordered, I think, in the last hearing?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. And so if Rachel does need to get that driver's license or look at getting a part-time job, she's able to do that now?
Yes.
All right. So now let's, I guess, talk about the parents. Mr. Reed is here with us today, so is it fair to say that you have been able to locate him?
Yes. Yeah. I'm able to communicate with him through WhatsApp. It's an app. So
And Mr. Reed is still in South Africa, correct?
that's correct.
And so has that made communication sometimes a little difficult with that time zone difference?
At times, but he always replies back to me whenever I text him.
All right. And at this point, have we developed any kind of service plan for Mr. Reed?
I have made a family plan, but it is just to establish paternity at this point.
Okay. Have you talked with Mr. Reed at all about the possibility of Rachel returning to his home?
Yes, I have discussed it with him. Rachel has told me that that's where she would like to go. But at this time, he's just financially unable to have her.
Okay. So at this point, does the department believe that that's not going to be a possibility?
That's correct.
All right. And so, do you know, is Rachel able to have communication with Mr. Reed?
Yes, he says that they text back and forth on the WhatsApp every few days.
Okay. And has any placement or anybody had any kind of concerns about that contact?
No.
All right. Now, Miss Graham has she been working the services on her service plan?
Yes, she has.
What, if any, services has she completed?
She has completed the sexual abuse awareness class. She completed her OSAR. She is in ongoing counseling. And then I haven't got an update from her this month, but I believe she's attending alcohol classes through Centacor as well.
And is your understanding that those classes were a recommendation from the OSAR?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, have you talked to her at all about that sexual abuse class that she took?
I visited with her, and then she sent me back an email. I had asked her to kind of tell me what she had took away from that class, and she was able to provide me a list of facts about sexual abuse. And so she did take away some information. I do not know if she's relating it to Rachel's situation though.
In your conversations with Miss Graham, has she shown any sort of acknowledgement or anything of the outcries that Rachel's made?
Yes, she does. She does not agree with the removal. She does not believe that. She does not believe the outcries.
And so, since taking that sexual abuse course, has anything about her understanding of Rachel's outcries and the allegations against Mr. Goodlet changed?
No, not that I'm aware of.
As far as your understanding, as far as the therapy is concerned, what sort of issues are they addressing in therapy?
From my understanding, they are working through Lee Ann's issues of grief and loss related to the removal of her daughter and working through some of that trauma, more so than working on the reasons for the removal.
Do you know if she's working at all in her individual counseling about trying to find ways to rebuild that relationship with Rachel?
No, I don't know anything about that.
Has she relayed any sort of acknowledgement or that she's working on anything related to the alcohol abuse or the physical abuse allegations?
No.
Now, as far as visitations going, what sort of visitation is Miss Graham doing with Rachel?
They recently got approved for in-person visits, and I tried to get a hold of Tristan this morning to make sure that they had their in-person visit on Saturday. That was set up, but I don't know if it happened or not. I haven't been able to talk to him yet today.
Okay. Now, initial, or I guess before this, were they doing virtual visits?
They were doing phone calls only.
Okay.
And they were pretty strained at first. The couple that I listened to, there were times where Rachel would refuse. However, I can say that Tristan reported the last several conversations have been positive.
Okay. And is that part of why that they're maybe looking at starting to do in person to hopefully build on that positive momentum?
Yes.
All right. Now you had Miss Graham doing drug screening. The last drug screen, is it fair to say that that was negative?
Yes, that was negative.
Do you feel that we need to court order another drug screen today, or has she been screening for you?
When I ask her to go, she goes.
Okay.
And so I could ask her, and I believe she's very compliant. She always,
Now, as far as communication goes, how do you primarily communicate with Miss Graham?
Recently it's been through mainly email. We did have a face-to-face visit set up for last week, and that day she emailed me and said she would not be attending and that I could set up future visits through her attorney. And she is now wanting to only meet with me with her attorney present. So I did get with Vince, and I believe we're going to work it out to where we meet on the 30th.
Okay. And are you going to be meeting in the home?
We have not, probably Vince's office. But I mean, I do need to visit her home too. So at some point we're going to have to meet at her home.
Okay. Now, are there any other updates that we need as far as Miss Graham's services and progress?
I don't believe so.
Do you believe that the department is making reasonable efforts to reunify Rachel with her parents?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
I mean, at this point, do you believe that it's possible to reunify her with Mr. Reed based off of what you testified to?
I don't believe so.
And at this point, do you believe that there are still ongoing concerns regarding reunifying her with Miss Graham?
Yes.
Is she still in a relationship with Mr. Goodlet?
As far as I know, yes.
When was the last time you I guess spoke to her or saw with him present?
It was last month's meeting. He was present in the home when I was there.
Okay, so at least as of last month, he was present and still in the home, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Does that cause a concern for the department?
Yes.
And why is that?
Well, Rachel continues to report that she's very uncomfortable around him. And I have mentioned to Leanne on multiple occasions that St. Francis would unlikely recommend to reunify as long as she maintains that relationship.
And has Rachel been consistent that she doesn't want to go back home because of Mr. Goodlet?
Yes.
And do you believe that there's still a continuing danger and a risk to her emotional and physical well-being if she were to return to that home?
Yes, I do.
And do you think that Ms. Graham needs to work through her services some more?
Yes.
At this point, is it the recommendation of the department that the department maintain or continue as TMC and that her current placement be approved?
Yes.
Are there any other recommendations that we need to,
No,
or orders that we need to ask of the court?
I don't believe so.
All right, I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right, thank you. Ms. Mills, would it be contrary to Rachel's welfare to be returned to either parent today?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Mr. Nowak, questions?
Just a few, Judge. Thank you so much, Corey. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
A couple of things. We talked a couple of weeks ago about Leanne getting access to Rachel's grades, and I think in Canyon it's a program or maybe an app called Skyward.
I believe so. I do know that the house parents are also struggling getting that access as well. So I can look into that for y'all.
I appreciate that. Is the house dad, is his name Matt?
Yes.
Do you know, I've heard allegations that he's threatening Rachel with the pavilion if her behavior doesn't change. Do you know anything about that?
No objection.
I have not heard that.
Okay. Has Rachel had a psychiatric evaluation?
Yes, she has. She had it just a few weeks ago. I don't have the results back yet.
When you get those results back, would you provide them to me, please?
Yes.
Thanks. And obviously, we're not having a hearing on my motion with respect to placement with the Williams, but will you agree with me that the Williams were an inappropriate placement
Judge, I'm
given
gonna
their lack
object.
of given their lack of training for this particular child?
I think that their lack of training was an issue.
Okay. And I think what you said was Amanda did not have the training to handle the needs of Rachel, correct?
That's correct.
So we lost a little bit of time with that placement in terms of getting Rachel back on the right track, correct?
Judge, I'm gonna object to a characterization of they're on the right track. If he can specify what track he's talking about.
Sure, I'm happy to do that, Judge. Corey, we had this discussion back in a Teams meeting months ago where I was raising questions about the issue of placement with the Williams, and y'all, the department or St. Francis told me that we're going to give Amanda the training she'll need to accommodate Rachel's needs. Do you remember that?
Yes. Yeah, we were going to try to provide her with some additional training, but then the Williams family decided that Rachel being in their home was just too much for their family, and they ended up withdrawing the placement.
Gotcha. In fact, there was an in-person meeting between Leanne and Rachel on Saturday.
Good.
Do you know anything about the cut marks all up and down along Rachel's forearms?
When I saw her earlier this month, I did observe the scratches on her wrist.
Excuse me, let me interrupt. I'm going to take this off of YouTube.
And then also that Andrea will not be left under his supervision, under the supervision of Tomas, if there is a concern of him being under the influence of any alcohol or illegal substances.
Okay, and so while the safety plan was in place, did some additional concerns come about?
Yes, additional concerns did arise. The safety plan was put in place on July 22nd. Tomas did a urinary analysis on July 30th that came up positive for alcohol. And then another screening on August 15th that was also positive with higher levels for alcohol.
And so were there any violations of the safety plan that you became aware of during that time?
The violations of the safety plan that I became aware of was that Andrea was in his care or around him during those times. On July 30th, she was out of school. And so whenever he went to go take that, she was with him in that day before he went and after he went. And then on August 15th, we were actually supposed to go for a visit on the 14th. And it was unannounced. He didn't answer the door and later told me that they just were there, that they didn't answer the door, or that he didn't answer the door to Moss. And then on August 15th, we had scheduled and planned to go meet with them. We had also sent him for the screening. He called after him and his mother, Maria, picked up Andrea from school and said that they were going to the alcohol screening. And so we advised them for him to go ahead and go do the screening, but for Maria to bring Andrea back to the home so we could meet with her. So them being together is a violation.
Did you talk to Andrea about the unannounced visit on the 14th?
Yes, we did go to Andrea's school and we met with her with director approval and asked her about if they were there, why they didn't answer, and if she had witnessed her father drinking alcohol while he was with her. And she had said that she was there in the living room watching TV and that he was in the bedroom taking a nap. Okay. And that she went to go wake him, but they were scared, so they did not answer the door.
And when you sent him to do that, were you talking about him taking her to do the drug screen?
Yes. So Andrea was at school. Maria drove Tomas to pick Andrea up from school. And then they were all supposed to be returning to the home to visit with myself and another worker. And on the way, around 3:40ish that day, she gets out of school about 3:30. I had received a phone call from Tomas stating that they were going really quickly to his alcohol screen, drug and alcohol screening, and then would be back home that day on the 15th.
Did Andrea say anything about why they were scared to answer the door?
She said that they didn't know who it was. So she was scared, so she went to go tell Tomas, and then Tomas was also scared, and so that's why they didn't answer the door. Okay. We had also attempted to call and text message Tomas and Maria to let them know it was us.
Okay, and so did those things cause you some concern?
It does cause me concern. It causes us concern due to him not being able to prove to her like that he's protecting her and that she's safe. In the situations, if he's scared to answer the door, it causes me concern that he wasn't being forthcoming with all information and allowing per previously agreed announced and unannounced visits. And then just also the contact. He called me also about an hour or two later that day after we had left on the 14th.
Is it concerning to the department at all that he would be taking the child with him to drug screens?
Yes, it is a concern. I had to address that whenever he called me on the 15th to tell him that it's not appropriate for him to be taking his daughter to a drug screening.
Now, did he ultimately look at doing some sort of dependency, I guess, services after that?
Yes, after that, he called me on September 5th, stating that he was tired of the lies and that he just needed things to change. He was tired of avoiding me. Trying to do visits and things and having contact with me and just trying to avoid that overall. And that he was requesting a visit with myself and my supervisor on that following Monday. The 5th was a Friday. Because he wanted to discuss like what options he had and what he could do due to getting help with his drinking, that he had begun to cut back on his drinking and he was having some symptoms that were quite severe and leading Maria to be wanting to take him to the hospital, as well as he stated that Andrea was worried because she had never seen him like that. He was having nosebleeds and shakes and like numbness and tingling in his arms, like and pain from cutting back on the alcohol.
And what kind of, I guess, sleeping or living situation does Andrea have in the home with her grandparents and Mr. Martinez?
Maria and Filiberto have their own bedroom, and then Tomas and Andrea share the second bedroom in the home. They have 2 beds that are separated probably by a couple feet, but they do share the same bedroom.
Does the department have any concerns based off of what he said she was seeing in that sort of a living situation?
Yes, we do have concerns due to the close proximity that they're sleeping if he's inebriated and sharing a bedroom, and the chances for her safety to be compromised due to that, we feel are great.
Now, did Mr. Martinez end up having to go to the hospital at some point?
Yes, after he called me on the 5th, I told him due to his symptoms and things like related things, I do suggest that he go to the Northwest Texas emergency room to get help. And then he could also be admitted into their detox program for alcohol. He did end up going after Andrea came home from school that day. He had a conversation with her about him leaving for a little while. And then Maria drove him to the Northwest emergency room, where he was later admitted into their detox program at Northwest Behavioral Health.
And then Now, did he keep in communication with you while he was going through all of this?
So once I spoke to him on the 5th, and then Maria texted me on Sunday because Tomas did not have his phone and let me know that he was there still. And then I received calls from, I apologize, I don't know her position name, but her name's Yasmin, that stating that Tomas was there and that he was wanting to talk and ask questions.
And then after he was, well, I guess after he was discharged, what did he do?
Upon being discharged, he was requesting to be discharged, and so they called me asking for next steps. And I advised that he could contact Serenity. He contacted Plainview Serenity Center to begin their 30-day program for substance abuse treatment, and he went there and did that treatment after.
Do you know when he completed that program?
He started on September 12th, and I can't remember the exact day. It was just recently. I believe it was the 17th of October.
Okay. And so prior to, I guess, the last couple of days, Mr. Martinez has been out of the household, correct?
Correct. And I'm sorry, that was not the 17th of October. That would have been the 10th of October.
Okay. Either way, while he was in treatment, he was out of the household, correct?
Correct.
And now that he's back in the household, does the department have concerns about Andrea remaining in this placement?
Yes, we continue to have the concerns. He is new in his sobriety, in maintaining his sobriety and completing the services on his family plan to help him ensure that he is maintaining his sobriety. We feel are the priority, and that Andrea being in his care could hinder that.
Are you concerned about Andrea remaining there considering the previously broken safety plan?
Yes, and we are concerned about her staying there due to the entirety of it. It was the family, not just Tomas, but Maria and Filiberto. They concealed his drinking, and Andrea as well in some areas concealed Tomas's drinking before. And so we're concerned that if he does begin to drink again, that will be concealed from us until we find out later.
Okay. Now, one of the things that the department was asking is to have leave to make placement changes without the need for a prior court order. Was that something that happened at the adversary since Mr. Martinez had JMC with the department?
Yes.
And then, the department have they requested the home study for the Aunt Brenda Mendoza?
Yes, we have requested a home study for Brenda Mendoza, maternal aunt.
Do you know at what point, I guess, where in the process that is?
The interview with Brenda has been completed, and it's in the last stages of before it gets supervisor approval.
Okay. Now, Brenda is not the aunt that filed for leave of intervention, correct?
Correct.
All right. And does Brenda live in Amarillo?
Brenda does live in Amarillo.
And if she were placed with Brenda, is Andrea able to stay at the same school and stay vaguely in the same community?
Yes.
Maya, what sort of services has she completed so far?
She has one more session, I believe, of counseling. And then her psychological has been completed. There are recommendations on that to complete outpatient and a mental health evaluation. She is working with Texas Panhandle Centers to complete that evaluation. And then she just provided me a certificate for a drug education class this morning as well. She completed inpatient services. And then her family therapy with Andrea sessions, I spoke to the counselor and they will begin those, her recommendations as well. And then she's also been completing drug screens. She's recently gotten her own apartment. And so I don't have very much information on that yet. And then she has her own transportation and she has maintained employment and provided pay stubs.
Okay. So it sounds like she's making some good progress towards completing that family plan of service, correct?
Yes, she is. She's made a lot of progress.
Now, Miss Amaya's last urinalysis test was negative, correct?
Correct.
Are we asking for the court to order a new hair and a test to see if we've been making progress since the last hair follicle test?
Correct.
And are we wanting to get that from Mr. Martinez today as well?
Yes.
All right. And as far as the continuing danger with placing back with Miss Amaya, what are some of the concerns that we still have?
The current concerns that we have are the appropriate housing. And so she's moving to the new apartment, so we will evaluate that to see if that concern has been mitigated. And then we recently found out about her being married. And so I have run background checks on her husband, and those have been cleared. But due to those those came back as nothing. And then the husband is a concern due to Andrea feeling a lot of concerns due to past situations with mom and a partner. And so reunification makes her feel very unsure. It makes Andrea feel very unsure right now. And that would be our primary concern to mitigate, which is also what we're hoping the family therapy will help.
Okay, so at the beginning of this case, is it true that there were some domestic violence incidents involving the mother and a female partner?
Correct.
And so this is a different partner, is that what I'm understanding?
This is a different partner.
Do you know when they got married?
July 28th.
Do you know when that relationship started?
I do not know exactly whenever it started.
But is it fair to say that the removal in this case happened in May of this year?
Yes, May 7th.
Does that cause any concerns for the department?
It is a concern. It seems that there was maybe a quick movement in it, and then also we just received information about her being married, even though we had previously asked about it. We just received the information at the end of September.
Okay. And so it sounds like instability is a big concern at this point as far as continuing danger, correct?
Yes. Correct.
And do we want to see some I guess long-term sobriety?
Yes, correct.
And then as far as the continuing danger for remaining in Mr. Martinez's home, do you believe that the things you had testified previously would go towards the continuing danger that she's subjected to in that home?
Correct.
Do you believe the department's made reasonable efforts to reunify with Miss Amaya?
Yes.
What sort of visitation are they doing right now?
Right now,
excuse me, we need to kind of speed up, Miss Wildman. We're already to when we need to be starting our next
I
hearing.
apologize, Judge.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
What kind of visitation are we doing right now?
Oh, right now, Miss Amaya has 2 hours of supervised visitation with Andrea.
Okay. And do you believe that the services you're asking for and continue to work the family plan of service, if we're granted temporary managing conservatorship, would lead to reasonable efforts to reunify with Mr. Martinez?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right, Ms. Kincaid.
Thank you, Your Honor. Has Miss Amaya stayed in contact with you?
Yes, she has.
Has she been cooperative with you?
Yes, she has.
Now, she recently got a new apartment. Have you had an opportunity to go and observe that apartment?
I have not had an opportunity to go and observe. She just sent me pictures over the weekend.
Okay. So the department, I assume, is going to go take a look at the apartment here pretty soon?
Yes, I believe I have it scheduled on Friday.
Okay. And so far as some of the concerns that Andrea has, hopefully those can be addressed in family therapy. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So would you say that Miss Amaya has been in compliance with the department?
Yes.
Thank you. I'll pass the witness.
All right, thank you, Mr. Nowak.
Real quick, Judge, thank you. Hey, Shelby, if I recall correctly, this case originated when mom was kind of messing up, correct?
Correct.
And the child was placed with dad?
Correct.
And then at some point, alcohol use by dad became an issue.
Correct.
And it was recommended that he detox and go to rehab, correct?
Correct.
He did both those things, right?
He did.
And that's a good thing, right?
Yes.
Okay. And is that the only reason you're asking the judge to move placement today is based on his alcohol abuse?
Not the only reason. That brought as to why the concerns, the alcohol may be a contributor in the concerns. It has been a concern that Andrea has not been able to consistently go on counseling, which was virtual. We switched to in person. And then as well as some of her other services, as well as his family plan services not being completed. And him kind of going back and forth about, oh,
You'd
yes,
agree with me that the alcohol is the biggest issue, and if we eliminate that, most of the other problems should fall away, correct?
hopefully.
Okay. How far, I think you're in the last stage of the home study on Aunt Brenda.
Yes.
If you had to guess, which way is it leaning? Is it going to be approved?
As far as I know, there's no concerns as to why it wouldn't be approved.
Okay. What would visitation look like between Tomas and his daughter during that placement?
We have not had a discussion about the specific visitation schedule, but I do presume due to the alcohol use concerns, it might be supervised weekly visits in person. I don't know for sure though.
Right. And are we sending Tomas to be tested today? I think that's what you were asking.
We were asking for it to be a hair follicle court ordered.
And what we need for him to start doing is testing negative for everything, especially alcohol, correct?
Yes, because we haven't had a drug screening for him that he's attended since June.
Shelby, thank you so much, Judge. I'll pass the witness.
All right,
Thank you.
Ms. Wiggins?
Thank you, Judge. Miss Brady, it's your understanding that the child does not want to move from father, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right. All right, then, Ms. Wildman, anything further from the department?
No, Your Honor, we have no further witnesses. We just asked to be named TMC and have the alcohol-related services added and have that ability to move to Miss, I think it was Mendoza was the aunt that we were going with. Or, yes, Miss Mendoza when that home study comes through, and then we'd ask for continuing danger and reasonable efforts.
All right, I'll make the findings for reasonable efforts to reunify and continuing danger.
And if I may be heard briefly, Judge, on moving placement, and especially supervised visitation, if Mr. Martinez tests negative today, I would oppose supervised visits, and frankly, given the child's wishes, I'd oppose the change of placement. But Judge, that's your call. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. All right, let's see, I don't know where I was at. Anybody? No one has any further witnesses, I take it. All right, Ms. Wiggins, recommendations?
Thank you, Judge. I do recommend that the department be named temporary managing conservator of the child and Mr. Martinez made possessory conservator. I met with Andrea on last week, and I have been really heavily debating. She's 9, but she's extremely mature for her age. So I just want to put it to the court that I potentially will be asking for a different guardian. I'd like him to be appointed. So I'm going to leave the placement change in your hands.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, then, as I previously stated, I have granted the mother through Ms. Kincaid's motion to strike the motion for leave to intervene filed by Bernice Avalos for failing to plead valid standing. I will grant the department's motion for change of placement. I will name the department temporary managing conservator, continue Ms. Amaya and now Mr. Martinez as possessory conservators. I will order that Mr. Martinez follow all recommendations that were made from his inpatient alcohol treatment program. I will approve the placement of Andrea with Brenda Mendoza once that home study is passed. I will order both parents to both Harris Strand and UA drug screen by 4 p.m. today, and also Mr. Martinez to alcohol drug screen by 4 p.m. today. All right, our next hearing will be a permanency hearing. That will be on February 16th, 2026. That will be by Zoom. like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two before February 16th to see what time of day we'll have that hearing. Okay, we'll be in recess on this case. I'll be back here in just a couple of minutes to call another Randall County case. That is a permanency hearing on the Johnson child. So we'll be in recess. Everybody have a good week.
Thank you so much, Judge. This is my last hearing. Permission to leave the courtroom?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Tomas, I'll be in touch.
8-4. This is a compliance hearing following an order to participate. Ms. Wildman's with us for the department. Ms. Wiggins is with us representing the child. Ms. Mullinax is with us representing the mother, Mrs. Myers, who is with us. Ms. Lucero, are you covering for Ms. Naranjo?
That's Elaine Lucero, the worker, not Lorraine.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, then Ms. Naranjo is not with us. And I assume that maybe Kagan Allen with Ms. Myers?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Mr. Allen is present. Mr. Allen, your lawyer's not here, but I will watch for her in the waiting room.
Thank you.
All right. I don't have anybody in the waiting room. So who were you looking for, Ms. Wildman?
Elaine Lucero, Judge, is
Okay.
as long as she is
She's here.
in here, that's who we're going to be calling.
Okay. All right. Ms. Lucero, if you'd unmute, please.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. If you'd raise your right hand, you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Wildman?
Thank you, Judge. And Miss Lucero, just briefly, how are you currently employed?
I'm a FBSS worker with the Department of Family and Protective Services.
All right. And are you the worker that has been working with the Myers family since our last court date?
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
All right. And so as far as actual court-ordered services, primarily they were just ordered to get the older two children evaluated, correct, and then maintain contact with the department?
Yes, ma'am.
So what sort of progress has been made towards getting those evaluations done?
So the family did have an appointment with Dr. Brenda Meeks for Noah and Natalie last Wednesday. Unfortunately, the day prior to them going for their visit, Cyrus was hospitalized locally, and so they weren't able to make that appointment, but they did have it rescheduled for this coming Wednesday at 8:15. So at that point, once they get that completed, we'll be able to see if Dr. Meeks recommends anything further. But as far as that service that they've been ordered to do, they've been compliant.
Okay. Now, as far as communicating, have you been able to communicate with them well?
Yes, ma'am. They've allowed me access to their home, access to their kids. They completed an assessment with me. Haven't had any issues with keeping contact with them at all.
Okay. And so based on the previous court order, are we recommending that we remain involved so we can make sure that those evaluations get done and can follow up, make sure they're following up on the recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
With that in mind and that rescheduled, would you recommend having a compliance hearing a bit sooner than usual within maybe the next 30 days?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think that would give us time to get that evaluation done and then hopefully get the recommendations?
Yes, I believe prior to the 30 days, we should have those recommendations from Dr. Meeks.
Otherwise, are there any other updates on the children or the family?
No, they're doing good. I mean, I've reached out to the school. They see them Monday through Friday. They haven't had any concerns. The kids are up to date with their medical. Cyrus has quite a bit of medical appointments, and the family has been just really on top of that, considering how much he has going on. They have a home health nurse. They have care options that goes in and provides some services to Cyrus and Elijah, PT, OT, and speech. And so the family seems to be really doing what they need to for those kiddos.
Okay. And as far as Noah is concerned, are they also following up as far as getting an ARD done and addressing concerns of possible dyslexia?
Yes, ma'am. They did attend an ARD with the school, with the elementary school, and he's receiving some accommodations there at school, and they're just gonna keep in contact with the staff to see if there's anything further that he might need.
Okay. And if there's any sort of learning disability evaluations done, do you think that will be done through the school so it won't be something they have to do out of the office or out of the school setting?
Yes, ma'am. It'll be something that'll be taken care of through AISD.
Okay. And so at this point, we're just waiting to see if that psychological or those psychological evaluations get done on at this makeup and then what those recommendations are.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right. Ms. Mullinax?
Ms. Lucero, were you present at the last hearing or no?
I was not.
All right, you have formed a family plan of service for the parents, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And that includes the psychological assessment that you're talking about for both the kids, right?
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
And you also put in the service plan that the parents would be required to submit to random drug screening within 24 hours of a request. Do you remember that?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that the judge declined to order any services for the parents other than things for the children, right?
Yes.
And so you understand he didn't order drug testing.
Yes, I do.
I pass the witness.
All right. Ms. Wiggins?
I have no questions, Judge.
All right. All right. Ms. Wildman, anything further?
No, Judge, just that we'd ask that the parents remain engaged in services until those evaluations can be done and we can get the recommendations.
Okay. Elaine, are Noah and Natalie, are they going to have a psychological or a psychosocial?
They're going to have a psychological.
Okay.
It is, when I talked to Dr. Meeks, she did explain that it's going to be a little shortened because of their age. She can't complete a full one, but
Yeah.
she's going to do what she can and she would get it back to me.
Okay. All right. All right then. All right. Ms. Wiggins, did you have anything further?
No, Your Honor. The parents did update us on the children, and everything sounds exactly like Ms. Lucero said. So.
Okay. All right then. Then I'll just simply order that the parents attend or take Noah and Natalie to attend the psychological by Dr. Meeks next week and follow all recommendations. Ms. Mullinax was correct. I did not order any drug testing for the parents, so they will not be ordered to do anything other than make those psychological appointments and follow any recommendations. So, okay, I'll set a compliance hearing for November 17th, 2025. It'll be by Zoom just like today, so parties can ask their lawyers or anyone can go on the court's online docket a day or two before November 17th to see what time that hearing will take place. I will note if that comes back, if the psychologicals come back and there's no further services recommended for Noah and Natalie, if y'all want to circulate an agreed order dismissing the case before November 17th, I'll be happy to sign it. If not, we'll come back and talk about what services they recommend for the kiddos. So.
And
All right.
Your Honor, I know that this can be addressed probably later, but if we do have that hearing, I will be, that'll be the first day of a criminal jury trial for me. So we'll have to figure something out about that.
Okay. You can either just send me any concerns you have, or if you can find somebody to cover for you, that would be fine too. So.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank y'all. We'll be in recess. I'll be back at 2:00 to call an adversary hearing on the Wesley and Tramitolo children. So. Y'all have a good week and we'll be in recess.
Thank you.
You too.
Judge, if I could, before we get started, if I could get a breakout room with Ms. Grant and Mr. Hill.
Sure. You want Miss Wiggins too?
Yeah.
Okay, let me let the Miss Tramitolo's not back with us yet, so let me get her closed out. I'm going to put you in a breakout room with the lawyer for the CPS. You may be asked to join the breakout room, or it may put you in there automatically.
Yes, sir.
All right, it looks like everybody's back. Where do we stand?
Judge, Mr. Wesley and Miss, and I may mispronounce this, but Miss Tramitolo are in agreement to work services. Mr. Gorham, when I spoke to him briefly, was not in agreement, but was wanting to request paternity testing and possibly an attorney.
Okay, that's where I was headed next. So let me go ahead. I haven't called the case yet. Let me go ahead and call it. I will call Randall County case number 87303. This is an adversary hearing involving the Wesley and the Tramitolo children. Ms. Wildman's with us for the department. Ms. Wiggins is with us representing the children. Mr. Hill is with us representing the alleged father as to, well, I say alleged, we'll get to that too. Alleged father as to, I guess it's Kai Air Wesley. And Mr. Wesley is with us. Ms. Grant is with us representing the mother, Ms. Tramitolo. She is with us. Ms. Grant and Ms. Tramitolo. And then Mr. Gorham is an alleged father as to Zariah Tramitolo. Mr. Gorham, I've heard what Ms. Wildman just told me. I'll just go ahead and admonish you now. If you'd unmute, please. Can
Yes,
you hear
sir.
me?
Yes, sir.
You have the absolute right to paternity testing to show that you are or you are not the biological father to Zariah Tramitolo, and I understand you want to request paternity testing today.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How that works is we'll go ahead and I'll order that today. You'll be contacted by someone with St. Francis and or the department to tell you when and where to go to do your portion of that test.
Yes, sir.
If it comes back that you are the biological father of the child, then you have the you have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, you have the right to ask that I consider whether or not you're entitled to a court-appointed attorney at no cost to you. You understand that also?
Yes, sir.
Okay, they'll get you the paperwork for an attorney. If it comes back you are the biological father to Zariah, then you fill that out completely. Get it either to my office at the Randall County Annex on Western Street in Amarillo, or you can get it back to St. Francis or the department, and they'll be sure and get it to me.
Yes, sir.
Be sure you fill it out completely, or else I can't consider it, and I'll be kicking it right back to you. And be sure I have good contact information for you, address, phone number, and email if you have it. That's how we'll notify you if you are entitled to a court-appointed attorney.
Okay. Yes, sir. I'll make sure to have all that done for you.
Okay, I appreciate it. And if you do get an attorney, it will be your responsibility to contact that attorney to set up your appointment. We'll let them know they've been appointed, but you'll have to reach out to them.
Okay. I appreciate you, man.
Sure. Okay, now, Mr. Wesley, you got an attorney already. You're still the alleged father as to Kyer. You got an attorney because when you filled out your form for that attorney, you checked the box that said you acknowledge that you are the biological father of Kyer. Is that correct? Is that what you intended to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You may want to talk to Mr. Hill about this. I can go ahead and adjudicate you today as the father and make that a court order that finds you are the biological father. Or if Mr. Hill thinks he wants more time to talk to you, y'all can talk between now and the time we come back for our next hearing. Mr. Hill, you want to have time to visit with him about that?
Judge, I'm 99.9% sure that he's the father based on what he's telling me, but we might as well take the extra time and let me speak to him about it.
Sounds good. So Mr. West, I'm going to go ahead and keep Mr. Hill as your lawyer. If you want paternity testing, we'll take that up at the next hearing. All right. I think I've covered everything I needed to. So, Ms. Wildman, just for the record, if you will announce what the agreement is.
Yes, Judge, the agreement just between the parties would be that the department would be named TMC for Zariah and Kyer. The parents will both work services. They're both in agreement. I don't know that a service plan has been developed. That said, Judge, I do think we're going to need to put on at least some evidence regarding the department's position on the reason for removal and not placing with Mr. Gorham since he's not in agreement.
That's fine. Let's start here. Which of these gazillion witnesses do I have that could be released now, especially the experts?
Judge, I believe based on the other parents' agreement that we can release Daniel Smith, Michael Cody, Juan Guerrero.
Hang on, you're talking faster than I can write. Okay, go ahead.
Wesley Rudd.
Okay.
Brittany Pingle.
Okay.
Jennifer Hansen.
Okay.
And Gordon Eatley.
Who was the last one?
Gordon Eatley.
I don't have that person in my waiting room.
Okay. If he shows up, I don't think we need him. I think we can get what we need probably through the caseworker, Judge, but just in case, I have one officer and then Dr. Madamall that we may need to briefly testify.
Okay. All right. Let me get everybody else in and get them gone. So It's going to take me a minute. Okay, I have let in several of the witnesses that were here to testify today in the Wesley Tramitolo adversary hearing. Parties have reached a partial agreement, so a lot of the witnesses I can release, whether you were under subpoena or here voluntarily. I'll name your names, and then you'll all be free to just go ahead and drop off, and we'll take care of what little business we need to today. So the following witnesses can be released, and I appreciate all of you showing up, and sorry it took so long to get to you, but it was going to be a lot longer if we didn't reach this agreement. So the following are dismissed, and thank you for being available to testify. Daniel Smith, Michael Cody, Juan Guerrero, Wesley Rudd, Brittany Pingle, and Jennifer Hansen, Dr. Jennifer Hansen. Y'all, I'm sure y'all feel like you do when you're called to jury duty and you hear the list and you're not on it. So I appreciate y'all showing up. All of you that I just mentioned are free to go, and then we will get to the other of you as quickly as possible. It shouldn't take long at all. Now, I do have someone, Ms. Wildman, if you're missing a witness, I've got someone that came in under Zoom user.
That could be Mr. Eatley, Judge.
Okay.
Or Detective Eatley.
Let's get him in and see.
It could also be one of our special investigators.
Okay. All right. This is Judge Graham. I've let someone in that came in under Zoom user. Sir, if you'd unmute and tell me who you are.
Yes, sir. My name's Gordon Neatley. I'm a detective with the Special Victims Unit at the Amarillo Police Department.
Okay, thank you, Detective. I made an announcement before. The parties have reached a partial agreement, and your name was given to me as one that will not have to testify today. So I'll remove you so you can go about your afternoon's business. Thank you for being patient with us, but as I told the others, it would have been a lot longer if they didn't reach this agreement. So thank you for being here, and I'll release you to go about your business.
Thank you for your honor. Y'all have a good afternoon.
You too.
Judge, Mr. Rudd is also not needed any longer. I don't know if he had heard that.
Let me.
He's still in. That's the only reason I was bringing it up.
Officer Rudd, if you could unmute Wesley Rudd. Well, it looks like he's frozen.
Judge.
I'm gonna remove him. Just have somebody from your office let him know that he doesn't need to log back in.
Absolutely.
Wait a minute. He may have just disappeared.
Juan Guerrero is also still waiting.
Okay.
He may not have heard.
Yeah. And Officer Guerrero, if you'd unmute, if you can hear me. Juan Guerrero. Okay, I can't hear you. You're muted. Let me just ask you, sir, did you understand what I said? You're not needed to testify today, so you're free to go, okay? Okay, he gave me a thumbs up. All right. Okay, then, Ms. Wildman, you may call whatever witness you think you need to call.
Thank you, Judge. Very briefly, I would call Mackenzie Tramitolo.
Okay.
Judge, while she's logging in, I apologize for interrupting. May my client and I be released since we have agreed to work services?
I don't have a problem unless Ms. Wildman, do you need Mr. Wesley to testify to anything today?
I do not, Judge.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Hill, you and Mr. Wesley are free to go.
Thank you, sir.
Uh-huh. I don't know. Wesley Rudd's still in with us. I'm going to go ahead and just remove him.
Yes, Judge. I think he might have been having some technical issues there at the end.
Okay. All right. Mr. Rudd's gone too. All right. All right. See, now we're down to, let me find. Mr. Tramitolo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. If you'd raise your right hand, you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Wildman.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Tramitolo, are you the, am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yes, you are.
And are you the mother of Zariah Tramitolo?
Yes, ma'am.
And to the best of your knowledge, who is the father of Zariah?
Dirk Gorham.
What sort of relationship, I guess, do you have currently with Mr. Gorham?
Currently none at all.
When was the last time that you were in contact with Mr. Gorham?
Sometime around Easter.
Okay. What sort of relationship has Mr. Gorham had with Zariah?
Hardly one at all.
And so let me ask you, has he met Zariah in person?
Yes, once.
And when was that?
that time in April around Easter.
Okay.
I believe it was the day after Easter.
And how old was Zariah at that time?
10 months old. 9 or 10 months old.
Okay, and so prior to that meeting, what sort of communication, if any, had you had with Mr. Gorham about Zariah?
He would FaceTime her like maybe once a month, if at all, and that was about it.
Has he come to visit her since then?
No, with him being so inconsistent, and it just kind of confusing her, I just made the ultimate decision that if he wasn't going to be involved the way that he should be as a father, then my daughter doesn't deserve that inconsistency.
Am I allowed to say anything right now?
Not until I tell you you can.
Yes, sir.
And so what's your understanding as to where Mr. Gorman lives?
I believe that he lived somewhere in Ohio, I guess with his mom or something. I'm not really sure.
Okay. Now, what sort of relationship did you have with Mr. Gorham, I guess, prior to Zariah being born?
I would invite him to go to appointments and stuff like that, but he would make other decisions, so he wasn't really involved with anything. So,
and so is that time that he met Zariah at 10 months really the most involvement that he's had with her?
yes.
At any point has he filed any or offered any kind of child support, or has anything been filed with the AG's office?
No, ma'am.
Has he shown any interest in supporting Zariah?
No, ma'am, none at all.
All right. And does she have any kind of relationship with I think you said he lived with his grandmother. Has she had any relationship with them or any extended family?
It's my understanding that Dirk told her not to talk to me. So no, even since my daughter has been born, she's never reached out. She has gotten things for my daughter, a couple outfits, two stuffed animals, but she hasn't had any direct contact with Zariah.
Okay.
Miss Wildman, where are we going with this? We're doing paternity testing on him.
Judge, we still have to establish that it wouldn't be appropriate to place with him even if he has that paternity testing, I believe. And so I'm just kind of trying to establish the mother's concerns with Mr. Gorham.
Well, this court's never going to place with a alleged father or alleged father's family. So couldn't we take this up once we find out whether or not he is the father?
I have one other question that I think we would want to get on the record, Judge, and then after that, I think that's
all right.
And then, Miss Tramitolo, do you have any concerns about Mr. Gorham and substance abuse?
To be completely honest, I have no idea what he is up to nowadays, but I know that it was a problem during my pregnancy.
Okay. Would you have concerns about that substance abuse if the child were to be placed with him?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I've passed the witness, Judge.
Anybody else have questions for her?
No, Your Honor.
Just one, Judge.
Okay.
What was the substance you were concerned about him using during your pregnancy?
Cocaine.
Okay. Pass the witness, Judge.
All right. If no one else has further questions for Miss Tramitolo, Miss Wildman, and any other witnesses you need to put on for today's purposes?
I'll call Miss, and I'm going to butcher it again, Lisa Ininga. Very briefly.
Miss Ininga, if you'd raise your right hand, you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. All right, thank you. Miss Wildman.
Thank you, Judge. And just for the record, Mr. Gorham did provide me with an updated phone number and email address when we had spoken that I can pass on to that I will pass on to the department. But Miss Ininga, how are you currently employed?
With the Department of Family and Protective Services.
And what do you do for them?
I'm an investigator.
And were you the investigator that was involved in the investigation involving Zariah Tramitolo and Kyer Wesley?
Yes.
Now, when did you first get involved with the family?
I initially received a report in on September 12th that had concerns of domestic violence. Law enforcement was called. The mother did have injuries, but the incident happened the previous day, so there was no arrest actually made at that time. There was an incident with the child being taken by the father, and then the mother picked up the child, then the dad tried to snatch the child again. Law enforcement stopped that. Anyway, so I had my first contact with her on September.
So when we say the child that was involved in I guess the snatching, was that Kyer?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. Kyer Wesley.
And then Zariah is a little bit older, correct?
Yes.
And at that time, did you attempt to identify who Zariah's father was?
I was given the name, yes.
And what name were you given?
I was given Dirk Gorham.
Okay. Did you make attempts at that time to locate Mr. Gorham?
Excuse me, y'all are talking over each other. Ask that question again. I don't think Jody got you.
Did you make attempts to locate Mr. Gorham?
Yes, we ran an accurate and we had a few phone numbers, but they were wrong numbers. And then we had an address in Ohio, which an absent parent letter was sent.
Did you get any kind of response to that initial letter?
No. And there was one previous case in June 17th of this year, and the same address, there was an absent parent letter sent at that time as well with no response back.
Okay. And so the removal incident occurred at the end of September, correct?
Yes.
And you've heard that the parents of Kyer are in agreement to his placement and mother's in agreement with Zariah staying in our custody. What efforts did you make or have you made since the removal to try and locate Mr. Gorham?
The only few numbers that we had, but they were not the correct numbers. One was to a different individual and one was connected to Amarillo Globe News. And then the address that we have, we just sent the absent parent letter, but we have not received anything back. I wasn't given anything other than that.
And so prior to him appearing in court today, have you had any contact with him?
No.
Now, are you aware of any sort of previous orders or anything that have established him to be the father?
No.
And so what kind of concern does the department have with looking at him as placement currently?
I have concerns that he has not had any involvement with the child. I didn't know about the Easter contact, but from what I was told, he has never been involved with the child, doesn't have a relationship, never met her. And then we also needed a paternity test, to establish whether he is actually the father or not.
At this point, do you have any idea whether or not he has appropriate housing in Ohio?
No, I have no idea.
Are you even certain that that's where he's living?
I have no idea.
And now, having heard further from Ms. Tramitolo, do you have concerns about possible substance use?
With the father?
Yes.
The alleged father? Yes. All that would be a concern because we don't know who he is and have never had contact with him or anything.
I'll pass the witness, or do you believe it would be contrary to the child's physical health and safety to be placed with him at this time?
Yeah, it would not be a good idea.
Based off of the removal incident that you had testified to and the other parents' agreement, do you believe that there was a physical danger to the physical health and safety of Zariah and Kyer at the time of the removal?
Yes.
Do you believe that there was an urgent need to protect the children and remove at that time?
Absolutely.
And do you believe that there's no time consistent with the circumstances to have had this adversary before removal?
Can you restate that? What?
Do you believe that it was necessary to do the removal prior to having this hearing?
Oh, yes.
And then as far as reasonable efforts, do you believe that you made reasonable efforts to avoid removal specifically regarding Mr. Gorham by attempting to locate him with the contact information you had available?
Yes.
Do you believe that you had made reasonable efforts also in the past trying to locate him during other investigations?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right. Anyone else have further questions for Ms. Eniga?
Just a few. Ms.
Okay.
Iniga, in the placement the child is currently at, is the younger one, he is fit to go to daycare, is that correct?
Yes, I'm not sure the exact date he's being released by the doctor to go, but I know that after a certain time, he is able to go to daycare, yes.
Okay, and they're in the Amarillo area, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right. Anyone else questions for Ms. Eniga?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Gorham, you were saying, could you talk? Do you have any questions for Ms. Eniga?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
I live here. I actually live in Amarillo.
Okay, that's Mr. Gorham. That's not a question. I'll give you a very brief minute in a minute to tell me what you want to tell me.
Okay.
I don't need
Yes,
to go
sir.
very far because if you're not the father, you're out of this case. But do
Yes,
you have
sir.
any questions? Do you have any questions for Ms. Eniga?
No, ma'am. Or no, sir.
All right. Okay. Mr. Hill, did you?
He left, Judge.
Oh, there we go.
He left,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So everybody's through. Ms. Wildman, any other witnesses?
No, Judge, but I did not get the updated address from Mr. Gorham, so if we could go off YouTube and he could get that to Miss Eniga so that they can do whatever they need to do on their end with his information.
Okay. Why did we leave Dr. Matamal in the waiting room if you didn't need him?
I wasn't sure how much you were going to need me to get into, Judge, so we can let him go.
We've gone. Is there anybody left in the waiting room you need?
No.
Kayla Scone, Micaiah Gutierrez, Dr. Matamal, Seth Sullivan?
Kayla
No?
Scone, Judge.
You need her?
She's going to be the caseworker on the case. I didn't realize she was in the waiting room.
All right, I'll get her in. I'm going to let the others go too. All right, let me write them down. Micah Gutierrez, is that a man or a woman?
It's a female, Judge. She's an officer.
Okay.
And Judge, can I ask Ms. Scone if St. Francis has everything they need to get the child into daycare? I know that the placement was needing the child to get into daycare ASAP.
Okay.
Yes, the request has been submitted to DFPS for approval, and I have gotten everything I need from placement for that.
Okay, great. Thank you, Judge.
All right, Officer Gutierrez, if you'd unmute. Seth Sullivan, if you'd unmute. And Dr. Matamal, if you'd unmute.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the parties have finally been able to reach an agreement, so you will not be having to testify today. I apologize for it taking so long for us to have gotten to this point, but trust me, it would have been a lot longer had they not reached an agreement. So we appreciate your time. You'll all three be released to go about your day's business. Thank you again for showing up.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all are free to drop off anytime. Okay, let's see. Did Ms. Wildman, anything else you need to do today?
I don't believe so, Judge. We just asked that paternity testing be ordered and that the agreement from the other two parties be approved, and Mr. Gorham, whatever findings are that it not be appropriate to place with him at this time.
I don't need to make a finding. I'd never placed with an alleged father or his family. So I do need to know for my records, whoever can answer this, I need to know where each child is placed, the type of placement in city or county.
Your Honor, both children are placed with the maternal grandmother in her home.
Okay, and that's where?
Here in Amarillo.
Okay. All right, then. That's all I needed. I will approve this agreement. I'll name the department or continue the department's temporary managing conservator, continue the children's current placements. I will order the paternity testing for Dirk Gorham and Zariah Tramitolo. Again, Mr. Gorham, somebody will be in touch to tell you where to go to get that done. Our next hearing will be a status hearing. That will be on November 17th, 2025. It will be by Zoom, just like today's hearing, so parties can talk to their lawyers or talk to anybody with the department or St. Francis, or go on my Courts Online docket a day or two before November 17th to see exactly what time we'll have that hearing. So, okay, appreciate y'all working that out. This was going to be a complicated one. We didn't have enough time to do it today, I know. So,
And
thank
Judge,
y'all for working that out.
If Miss Iniga or Miss could get a breakout room, possibly with Mr. Gorham, just to get that updated address.
All right, you need Lisa and who else and Mr. Gorham?
Just Mr. Gorham, or I can go in there with him, Judge.
Okay, I thought I heard somebody else talk.
I just don't want him to give out his address on YouTube.
Okay.
You want the other caseworker?
Your Honor, Kayla Scone is going to be our caseworker. She probably needs to be present in that breakout room.
All right, I'm putting Kayla Scone. Who else did you want in?
Lisa Iniga, it was probably going to need that updated information too, Judge.
And Dirk Gorham and Sam Wildman. Is that the only four y'all need?
I think so, Judge.
Okay, I'll open the breakout room. Y'all can just drop off when you're through. I'll leave my Zoom open until y'all come back, and then I'll close it out. All right, thank y'all.
Thank you, Your Honor. May myself and my client be excused.
Yes, you may.
Have a good day.
You too.
Judge
Jody.
Graham.
Jody, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I was afraid you were never going to speak to me again.
I was a little worried about it, but we're okay.
All right. Good to see you.
All right, you too.
All right, Teresa, you had something?
Yes, Your Honor. There were two hearings this morning that were set on February 16th, in addition to the ones we talked about. It was the Graham case and the Martinez case.
Okay.
And those were the first two on the docket this morning.
Right.
Does the court?
We can move them all. What date did we move the others to? I can't remember.
February 2nd.
Okay. Can we move them? I'm okay with moving all these to the second if that's what you were asking about.
Yeah, yes, Your Honor. That's what I'm asking.
Okay. So I've moved Graham on my notes, and I have moved Martinez on my notes.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. We'll make sure the right date gets in the order.
All right. I appreciate that.
Okay. Thanks. Bye. Have a good day.
You too.